Hi, and welcome back. Over the last month or so, there have been numerous debates on the number of hours one should work. Predominantly, this is boiled down to the white collar jobs or culture. Many are talking about disparity between the salaries of the CEOs and the entry level. Many are talking about family life, personal life, how to balance between work and building a career. There have been numerous topics. Well, I want to look at this in a very different way. There are various sections in the society and various people work for various number of hours. Now, why does this conversation come up predominantly in a tech sector or a technology sector where people are talking about, I don't have a family life, I need work life balance, I'm constantly in meetings and things like that. Now, I want to digress this in a couple of ways. Predominantly, we'll start with three of them. One is understanding what is long hours and why is it required or why is it not required. The second one is molding yourself to do smart work. And the third one is enhancing the outcomes of your work. Before I begin, I want to make one thing very clear. All of us understand Pareto principle. 80% of the work is done by the 20% of the workforce. In any organization, in any place, predominantly this applies. Even at our homes, it applies. So, how do we look at this one? Let's look at the first one, defining long hours. Now, defining long hours, why it is becoming a point of conversation is few eminent personalities have said you have to push to 70 hours, you have to push to 90 hours, etc., etc. And few have also talked about having quality outcomes rather than quantity, which is absolutely bang on. And I'll be focusing on that point during this conversation. Understanding the long hours. Do you know how many hours doctors, police, taxi drivers, auto drivers, bus drivers, farmers, many other sections of the society work for? Predominantly, everybody works for 12 to 14 hours a day. There is a reason why they are in that profession. They love the profession, they're passionate about the profession, and the focus on bringing out the best. I know doctors who go 3 night shifts straight. Most of us cannot even imagine. And they are talking about taking care of health, life and death situation every time. And none of us will be in a life and death situation in our jobs on a daily life. But doctors are. If police decide that they're not going to work on the weekend and they're not going to, do the long hours or they're not going to work on the weekends, what's going to happen? The society will be in a chaos. All of us agree to that. Now, how do they do it? And what is the challenge, what we are seeing? Predominantly, what is happening in the tech sector is because we work in multiple time zones, we work in multiple regional teams. It is so becoming exhausting for each and everybody to have multiple conversations. Yes, doctors do have multiple conversations. Police do have focused conversations. Probably auto driver and a taxi driver and a farmer might not be having so many conversations like you and I do, but they do focus on few other things. The key aspect of putting in long hours is just not about the quantity but the quality of the outcome. Now, in our case, especially in the technology sector where we feel we are working overnights and we're doing long hours working in multiple time zones, it's not only us. Even the finance guys work that way. I'm talking about the finance guys, not the regular organization finance guys. So many people work extended hours of time, and everybody has a stress. But because this topic is coming from people in the technology industry, this is where the conversations are becoming a lot more bigger. Now, the second part of it, after defining what is long hours, I would want to get into an aspect called doing smart work. What is smart work? Smart work is basically designing the outcome of the work what you have done to create that impact. I come from a corporate industry, a corporate world. I've been in that place for a long time. And what I understand is I see a lot of time going into meetings, especially now. Over the last few years after COVID, people have started working remotely, working from home, 2 days, 3 days from home, 3 days from office, and there are many organizations which are going back to work altogether. Now, what I notice is in the 8 to 10 hours of work they put in, predominantly 6 to 8 hours are going in meetings. These meetings are important, which I'm not denying the fact, but there is a way you organize your meetings. There is a way you get the work done, and there is a way you capture the outcome of everybody's work to put together as a manager, as a leader. What I understood from my experience and what I see today is more, at least 50% of the meetings can be avoided. Instead of having just a regular status update call, there can be a little bit of automation which can be included so that the updates are automatic and everybody gets to know of them and only the key points are discussed. So I have a very particular coaching on your meeting planner. If you're interested, the link is below. Set up some time with me and I'll walk you through how you can enhance the outcome of your meetings. The third one is ensuring that the outcome of your work is meaningful and it needs to be measured. Now, let me give you an example. How many of you have read the book called The 4 Hour Workweek? This is a very, very impactful book, and it has made a lot of sense in how we get things done. Author Tim Collins talks about four key aspects or the defined methodology. Uh, what does this defined methodology talk about? It talks about four key aspects, which is deal. Define your work, eliminate the unnecessary aspects, automate your regular tasks or everyday tasks, and last but not the least, liberate yourself. Let me give you an example. When I do coaching sessions, so there are certain tasks which are repetitive for me. For example, somebody wants to set up some time with me. They go to my calendar. There is a coaching option. Select that, and I walk them through certain questions to understand what they're looking for and what is the outcome they're looking for out of the coaching session, and how many hours or how many days can they contribute to learning or taking away from the coaching session. Now, all these things are automated. All the questions, all the information, what I want will be captured when the time is being set up. And last but not the least, the payment is also taken care. So, when I'm getting into the first meeting with my prospective client, I have already got where they're working, what they're doing, what is the biggest challenge they see, what is it they're looking for, and how much time they're going to spend. And last but not the least, they have already made the payment. So the conversation gets a head startup. If I don't do that, I would spend the first 15 to 20 minutes trying to articulate what their challenge is and what they're looking out of it, and also what are they expecting and how will I deliver the sessions. All these things are automated and they'll have all the information before they come to me. So in this way, I have at least saved half an hour to 45 minutes of my time, and also I've saved that money to my prospective client, and we can get ready, deep dive into the topic so that it becomes more easier. There are a lot of methodologies like this which can help us get to bring out the best in us. When these people are talking about 60, 70, 90 hours of work, you need to understand there are two individuals predominantly. We talked about Mr. Narayan Murthy and the CEO of LNT. Now, one is a career professional who started his career with L&T and who's risen to the ranks of a CEO. And one is an entrepreneur who quit his job and wanted to create something meaningful, impactful he has done. Talk to any entrepreneur you know around, and they will tell you they will definitely put in more than 70 hours a week without blinking their eye, because that's something with passion and with interest what we are doing. The challenge comes when you're working for a regular organization and there is no harm. You just want to have do good work, come home, spend quality time with your family. You will have to navigate this aspect. For if you are a person like that, I have another high recommendation. There's a book called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. I'll provide the link in the description. Do read that. It is for people who are, and again, this set of people, there is absolutely nothing wrong in that thought process. You are wanting to work, build a quality life, spend time with family. That's about it. There is no harm in thinking like that. So there are ways for you to navigate these corporate aspects. The olden time, most of the people used to work for government organization. There are set hours and the tasks are set, and we go and execute and come back, and after working for 40, 50 years, people retire and they get their benefits out of it. But today's world is not like that. You need to keep putting in your efforts. Your increments depend on that, your lifestyle depends on that, your long-term commitments depend on that, everything depends on that. But that does not mean we don't understand the nuances of how to navigate this culture and ensure still you have your personal life and you contribute in the area where you're passionate about. So, if you look at it from that perspective, nobody is wrong in anybody's perspective. They are right. And we cannot be saying that I have even seen comments, pay me that salary, I will do this. No, that is wrong. If you are capable, you will get to that salary. I know a lot of people who are at those high compensation levels and they deserve that, because from the day one, I have seen them in the 20 years of my career. They have built it, they have stuck to their boundaries, they have stuck to their framework, they have grown, they have allowed their teams to grow and their surrounding people to grow. It's a very fine line distinction, and yes, we do run into wrong kind of personalities who are managing us, but we need to navigate that whole aspect and define our growth and define our success. So don't be caught up what they said and what the other person said. Focus on yourself. What is it you want at the end of the day, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years down the line? Because we don't currently have any private sector jobs which give us pension and allow us to live peacefully after that. Everything we need to build it on our own. So, and there are, of course, too many distractions around us, not like the olden times. So, as an individual, decide what you want to do, how you want to do, and how you want to go forward. I will do a series of videos on these aspects, and if you want to get into proper aspects of understanding how do you manage teams, how do you manage product, how do you manage your meetings, how do you manage your communication in the corporate world, I've given the link below. Do set up some time with me and I'll work with you to ensure you get the best out of it. Thank you.